Hello everyone, today we're trying to make Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird is a game where you control a bird and you try to jump in between pipes. You can only control the birds by jumping and you've got to try to get as far as possible without hitting those pipes. So like you can see, the bird is on the left of the screen and the pipes are coming in from the right to the left. Once you hit a pipe, the game ends and the score gets displayed on the same screen. Displaying the score does make everything a lot harder. First of all, let's start with making the pixels. These are really easy and nothing should go wrong with building these. A little bit later. Okay, so I did mess it up. This is not how you're supposed to make it, but like this. This is where you test your stuff. In order to make the pipes go from the right of the screen to the left of the screen, we'll use repeater locking. Locking repeaters will make sure the repeater stays in the same state as before by powering it from the side. This way we can prepare the pipe at the right of the screen and constantly flash the repeaters so they unlock and lock and the signal gets passed to the cell next to it. To be able to update all of the repeaters at once, we'll use water columns. Water can be in a couple of different states and the ones I use is just normal and the bubble columns. If you have a bubble column and you remove the lowest block of water, the whole bubble column will disappear and this can be detected by observers. If you place the water back, it will also become a bubble column again. These changes will be seen by observers, which will be sent to the repeaters and unlock all the repeaters at once. Now, one problem which I didn't know in the beginning was just a big problem is that when you remove the bubble column, it updates a lot faster than when you try to make a new bubble column. This brings up a whole lot of problems with mainly timing, so I later changed the water to walls. When you have walls, you can see that the middle wall is flat. When you put a block next to it, it changes. This can be done using a trapdoor and all the walls update at the exact same time each time. This gives us a constant timing and it's way faster than the water, so now we'll be able to run the game way faster than before and without needing some sort of refresh system to get rid of the difference in updates timing. Let's move on to the bird. The bird is a bit more difficult. I used signal strength to determine which height the bird is. So signal strength 15 would be at the top and signal strength 3 would be at the bottom. Each pixel is 2 blocks high, so the signal strength will need to move with 2 strengths each time. To make the bird fall, it's really easy. You just subtract 2 of the stored number each time, but to make the bird jump, it's a bit more difficult. The bird will need to jump 3 blocks high, which is equal to adding a signal strength of 6. To be able to add a signal strength to another signal strength, we'll take a signal strength of 15 and subtract the original signal strength from this. From this subtracted signal strength, we'll subtract the 6, which is needed to jump up, and then we'll take another signal strength of 15 and we'll subtract the previous signal strength of this, which will now give us the new result with the 6 signal strength added. So for example, if the signal strength is 3, we'll subtract 15 with 3, which gives us 12. Then we'll subtract 6 from this 12, which gives us 6 again. Then we take 15, we subtract the 6, we get 9, which is our result. So 3 plus 6 is 9. Generating the pipes is way easier. There are 5 different pipes, one with a hole at the complete bottom, one with the hole above that, one with a hole in the middle, one above that, and one with a hole at the top. What I'll do is generate a random signal strength between 1 and 5, depending on which signal strength this is, a different pipe activates. How I generate this random signal strength is by using shulker boxes with each a different signal strength from 1 to 5, and put this shulker box in a dispenser. Once we activate this dispenser now, it will dispense a random shulker box and we'll be able to read the signal strength out of that. Then we can break the shulker box again and we can repeat this every time to generate our new random signal strength. We now have a working bird and working pipes, so it's time for collision detection. The collision detection is pretty easy. We just go to the sides and take the redstone signals from where the pixels of the pipes are on. Then we take the pixel of where the bird is and we'll put those in an AND gate. If both the pixel of a pipe and the pixel of the bird are on at the same time, at the same level, then there is a collision and this will be sent to the whole system. Once there is a collision, the clock will be stopped immediately and the screen will be cleared. Clearing Clearing the screen is done by unlocking all of the repeaters from right to left, which will empty all of the repeaters. Later I added a small sort of animation, which first turns on all of the pixels and then turns them off. Once the pixels are cleared, a signal can be sent to the score system, which will then display the current score to the player. After this, the score can also be cleared again and the game can restart. Now it's time to make the clock. The clock needs to make sure all of the components of the whole world work together in sync. The clock will also need to generate a new pipe once every 4 updates. So this is done by storing a signal strength of 4 and then subtracting a signal strength of 1 each time. When this signal strength then hits 0, a repeater will be unpowered and the new signal strength of 4 will be sent in the storage again. This way we're able to send a signal once every 4 signals. Now it's time to implement the score. For the score we also use a signal strength from 0 to 9, which will correspond to each of the different numbers. The score is implemented by using a 7-segment display, so there are 7 inputs, and this way we'll be able to display all of the different numbers. From behind there will be a signal strength sent in from 1 to 10, 1 being 0 and 10 being 9. Depending on which signal strength it is, a different row of repeaters will be turned on, which will correspond to the right segments of a 7-segment display for that number. Each time the signal strength at the back will increment, a new line of repeaters will power, sending the new information to the 7-segment display. Now a problem is that when the signals for number 3 are on, the signals from number 2, number 1 and number 0 will also be on. To combat this, we subtract a signal strength depending on which number is needed to be displayed at this moment. Because the lower numbers are further away than the higher numbers, we'll be able to subtract a higher signal strength each time, so only the right number will show up on the display. We will also be able to reset the score, which will just reset all of the signal strength to the original signal strength. Because the score only needs to increment, we can use the same system as we used before with the clock to send a signal once every 10 times. So we'll take the signal strength of 10 and subtract 1 each time until it hits 0, then it will reset the whole system, so we'll go from 9 to 0 again. And there will also be a signal sent to the score segments next to it to increment this with 1. And this way we will be able to have a score from 0 until 999. The score now will always be shown on the screen, but it should only be shown at the end of the game. So we'll put a bunch of comparators at the end of the signals and we'll subtract the signal strength of 15, so the signals won't go through to the screen. Now once the level is finished, we will be able to remove the signal strength of 15, so the original signal strength will be able to go through. So now we are able to increment the score, but when should this happen? A pipe will always have 1 pixel at the top or 1 pixel at the bottom. So at the left of the screen we'll be able to take a signal strength from the top and the bottom. So if there's a pipe there, one of these will be activated, and if we see that one of those is activated and there is no collision detected, then the score will be incremented by 1. Now you will be able to see that there is some sort of like smear effects on the screen. This is because when you activate a redstone lamp it will turn on instantly, but when you deactivate it, it will stay on from 1 more tick. So I changed the pixels to this. This will make sure the pixels turn on 1 tick after they are powered. So now the lamps will be powered only 1 tick after and will go off 1 tick after as well. This way the moving parts will jump across the screen instantly, which is way nicer to play. Now the game is finished and we can move on to decoration. Normally I do some sort of game console design, but this time I decided to go for some sort of scene from Flappy Bird itself. I really like it, but the bird is a bit disturbing. Everything now is done. The game is able to be played real time, but one problem is that there is a bunch of input delay, so you'll need to jump 2 frames in advance. But now we can move on to the showcase. this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't, dislike. And subscribe if you want to see more. Remember that this channel isn't mainly in English, so consider that before subscribing. If you have any feedback, please let me know in the comments below. It helps me out a ton. And then I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye! The most bottom? The lowest. Fuck. Fuck.